The Vladimir Tiara is a story about how Britain secretly acquired the most controversial treasure of the Romanovs. What makes this tiara so controversial? Why is it called the most disputed acquisition of the British crown? What secret has surrounded the Vladimir Tiara for over a century? A treasure that should never have left Russia ended up in the hands of another monarchy. The methods of obtaining this treasure are shocking. Those involved kept silent until the end of their lives. Documents reveal details that cast doubt on the legitimacy of the entire operation. The scandal touches two of the greatest empires. And the true story of how it happened turned out to be even more shocking. Picture this: one piece of jewelry, 3 countries, a century and a half of history, and only 3 women dared to wear it in public. It all began with a wedding that changed the fate of an entire dynasty. 1874, St. Petersburg welcomes a bride. German Princess Marie of Mecklenburg-Schwerin arrives in Russia to marry Grand Duke Vladimir Alexandrovich, son of Emperor Alexander II himself. The wedding gift from the Tsar takes everyone's breath away, an exquisite tiara from the court jeweler. But this is not just jewelry, this is the beginning of a legend. Marie had roots that few remember. Her great-grandmother was Grand Duchess Elena Pavlovna, that very Russian aristocrat whose name resonated at court. In her honor, Marie took the patronymic Pavlovna after baptism. The family called her Mishin, and in high society she received a title that was breathtaking: Grand Duchess Vladimir. And then something interesting happened. Russian court jeweler Bolin received a commission that would go down in history. The imperial family demanded something special for Maria Pavlovna's new tiara. The piece had to amaze with its flexibility of form and technical sophistication. Bolin created a masterpiece. The pearls could be removed like separate parts of a complex structure. Some of the pearls were set with diamonds, allowing the tiara to be worn in a more closed style. The piece turned out amazingly flexible. A pearl could be removed like a piece of a construction toy, allowing the crown to be worn higher. The tiara was usually called the state version when worn without pendants. At one costume ball, she wore the tiara without pendants as a smaller closed crown. Guests froze. It looked so unusual that it became a fashionable trend at court. The Vladimirs quickly became a central figure in the Russian imperial world. They created their own rival court. Maria Pavlovna had many opportunities to wear the coveted tiara. Balls, receptions, events, all required the refined traditional court dress that the Romanovs loved so much. But Grand Duke Vladimir passed away in 1909. 8 years later, the Russian Revolution struck the imperial family. 1917 destroyed everything. And now we approach the main part. After the emperor's abdication, Maria Pavlovna was advised to leave St. Petersburg forever. She fled from the luxurious Vladimir Palace to a villa in Kislovodsk. The jewels, including the tiara, remained in a secret safe in her bedroom at the palace. When the government suspected something wrong in her correspondence, she was placed under house arrest. Her financial situation became even more precarious. And now, the truth about how the tiara left Russia. That summer, Maria Pavlovna's son, Grand Duke Boris, and his friend Bertie Stopford devised a dangerous plan to recover her jewels. Stopford was a British aristocrat, art dealer, and had diplomatic connections. He and Boris, disguised as workers, entered the Vladimir Palace with the help of a palace guard and removed the contents of Mishin's secret safe. The Vladimir tiara and other jewels were placed in 2 Gladstone bags. Stopford managed to smuggle them out of Russia. Documents reveal an unexpected turn. He transported the jewels to London, where they were placed in a bank vault. Safety, at last. The next owner changed the fate of the ornament. In January 1920, the jewelry house Garrod made an inventory of Maria Pavlovna's jewels. The list indicated that the Vladimir tiara was damaged during transport from Russia to England. Some pearls and diamonds were missing. In February of that year, Maria Pavlovna became the last Grand Duchess of the Romanov dynasty to flee Russia. She boarded an Italian steamer that took her to Venice, then to France. The journey seriously undermined her health. A few months later, she passed away. The Vladimir tiara passed by inheritance to her only daughter, Grand Duchess Elena Vladimirovna. She married into the Greek royal family in 1902 and became Princess Nicholas of Greece and Denmark. But that's not all. In 1921, Elena decided to sell some of her mother's jewels. She quickly found an interested buyer, Queen Mary of Great Britain. Mary acquired the damaged Vladimir tiara and quickly commissioned Garrod to make the much-needed repairs to the diadem. The most important part lay ahead. 3 years later, she commissioned Garrod to work on this ornament again. In Mary's collection were the Cambridge emeralds, precious stones that belonged to her mother's family. She had incorporated many of these stones into the Delhi Durbar parure. In 1924, she redesigned the Vladimir tiara so it could be worn in a third setting, adding 15 cabochon emerald drops from the Cambridge Emerald collection. Records from that time show that the emerald version of the tiara was often worn with jewelry from the Delhi Durbar set. The real turning point came later. After Queen Mary passed away in 1953, the tiara passed by inheritance to her granddaughter, who shortly before had ascended the throne as Queen Elizabeth II of Great Britain. Elizabeth wore the tiara throughout her long reign. Photographs captured an important moment. In October 1953, she first appeared in public, wearing the tiara at the Royal Command film showing of Rob Roy at Leicester Square. She also wore the emerald setting of the tiara from the earliest years with this ornament. In a photograph taken in 1957, she wears the tiara during a visit to the Paris Opera during her brilliant state visit to France. A decade later, the situation changed. In July 1963, she chose the tiara for a gala performance of A Midsummer Night's Dream during a state visit to Greece. Interesting fact, Princess Marina, standing in the second row, was the daughter of Princess Nicholas and granddaughter of Grand Duchess Maria Pavlovna. The key moment came at the very end of Elizabeth's reign. Notably, the Vladimir tiara became the last tiara that Queen Elizabeth II was photographed wearing in public. She paired the emerald setting of the tiara with Greville emerald earrings and the Greville emerald drop necklace at her final diplomatic reception at Buckingham Palace in December 2019. So what really happened? The tiara survived upheaval in Russia and the quieter luxury of British royal life in London. A bit strange to think that only 3 women from the royal family have worn the tiara in public, isn't it? But what a trio. Grand Duchess Vladimir, Queen Mary, Queen Elizabeth II. Not a bad lineup. 1 ornament, 3 owners. A century and a half of drama, revolutions, and royal power. A story that began in a Russian imperial palace and ended at Buckingham Palace proves that true treasures outlive empires. And then a new heroine appears in this story. After Elizabeth II passed away in 2022, the tiara remained in the royal collection. But the question of its future owner became the subject of heated discussions in royal circles. Camilla, Queen Consort, gained access to the royal jewels. However, the Vladimir tiara never appeared on her head. Why? The answer lies in the very nature of this ornament. Photographs captured an important moment. At the coronation of Charles III in May 2023, Camilla chose a completely different tiara. The Vladimir remained in the vault. Royal jewelry experts express an interesting theory. The tiara carries too heavy a historical burden. Its Russian origin, dramatic escape from revolutionary Russia, scandalous circumstances of acquisition. All this makes the ornament too politically sensitive in the modern world. Let's look at the facts. Today, the value of the Vladimir tiara is estimated by experts in the range of £50 to £100 million sterling. But it's not just about money. The historical and symbolic value of this ornament is immeasurable. In 2022, after the start of the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, the question of the origin of royal jewels became even more delicate. Russian historians repeatedly raised the question of the status of the Vladimir tiara. Officially, it was purchased, but the circumstances of its removal from Russia remain disputed. The British royal house has never commented on these claims. The position is simple. The tiara was legally acquired from the legal owner, Grand Duchess Elena Vladimirovna, in 1921. But historical justice is a complex concept. The treasure was saved from possible destruction or melting down by the Bolsheviks. On the other hand, it was removed from the country at a moment of chaos, when legal norms ceased to function. Today, the Vladimir tiara remains in the royal collection as a reminder that great jewels outlive empires, revolutions, and changing eras. Its story is not just a tale about an ornament. It is a story about how the fates of people and entire dynasties intertwine through material objects that become witnesses to history. 3 women wore it publicly. How many more will see this ornament on a royal head? Time will tell. But one thing can be said for certain. The mystery of the Vladimir tiara continues to captivate minds and hearts in both Russia and Great Britain. And this story is far from over. And now the most interesting part. In 2024, an event occurred that once again drew attention to the Vladimir tiara. Catherine, Princess of Wales, appeared at a state banquet in honor of the Emir of Qatar's visit. A tiara adorned her head, but not the Vladimir. This sparked a wave of speculation in royal circles. Many expected that Catherine would become the next owner of the legendary ornament. She has already established herself as a worthy representative of the royal family. Her style and elegance recall Elizabeth II herself. The next owner changed the fate of the ornament. This phrase was repeated by experts after each generational change. Now everyone is waiting. Will Catherine become the 4th woman in history to wear the Vladimir tiara in public? Palace sources hint that the decision has already been made. The tiara will be passed to the Princess of Wales when her husband William ascends the throne. But until that moment, the ornament will remain in the royal vault. Too much symbolism is connected with this treasure. Documents reveal an unexpected turn. Recently discovered in the Buckingham Palace archives was correspondence between Queen Mary and Grand Duchess Elena. The letters reveal new details of the 1921 transaction. It turns out Elena sold the tiara not because of financial difficulties, as previously believed. She wanted the ornament to remain in a royal family, even if from another country. In one of the letters she wrote, "Let the tiara serve as a bridge between our houses, a reminder of a time when crowns were united in their magnificence." These words change the entire understanding of the story. The Vladimir tiara was not stolen, not bought out of need. It was given as a symbol of connection between dynasties, as hope that beauty and magnificence would survive political upheavals. Today, more than a century after the revolution, the tiara remains a silent witness that some values truly are eternal. A 4th owner will certainly appear. And when that happens, the story of the Vladimir tiara will once again remind the world that true magnificence knows no borders or nationalities. The truth turned out to be far nobler. No scandal, no dark schemes. The Vladimir tiara was saved from destruction and passed on by the will of the Grand Duchess herself as a symbol of connection between dynasties. A daring escape from the palace? Yes, but it was a rescue operation, not theft. The letters prove it. Elena Vladimirovna herself wanted the tiara to remain in a royal family. Just think, the ornament survived revolution, 2 world wars, and changing eras. Isn't that a real miracle? If this story grabbed you, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe so you don't miss new investigations into royal secrets. Click the bell and you'll be the first to learn the truth about other mysterious treasures. There are so many incredible stories ahead. See you in the next episode.